Tonight on EBN Weekend Edition, at least 7 people have been killed and several others injured following a grisly road accident at Macharia along the busy Mombasa-Nairobi highway early Sunday morning.
We are in a space in our country where Ruto is selling everything that is working. Kenya Port ameuza, Airport ameuza, sasa Safaricom imeuzwa.
DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua slams government over sale of state assets.
Kama mchanga yote kivunikia watu wengi hapa tutapoteza watu kama hivi. Tuseme yani tulie kidogo mpaka tuangalie vile watapima topography ya soil hapa. Sasa mchanga itakuwa.
Kakamega County government has ordered the immediate shutdown of the Shivaya gold mine following a deadly collapse that claimed the lives of 3 miners. And at least 11 people, including a 3-year-old child, have been killed in a mass shooting at hostel in Saulsville Township, west of South Africa's capital, Pretoria. Alright, we're live across our social media platforms, that is on Facebook and as well as on YouTube, and you can as well send us your feedback through our SMS line, that is 23059. My name is Macharia and EBN Weekend Edition starts now. And at least 7 people have been killed and several others injured following a grisly road accident at Macharia along the busy Mombasa-Nairobi highway early Sunday morning. Now, the crash, which occurred at around 4 a.m., involved a public service vehicle traveling from Nairobi to Mombasa and a lorry heading in the opposite direction. Now, reports indicate that the PSV driver attempted to overtake the other vehicle before spotting the oncoming lorry. In a desperate attempt to return to his lane, the driver was unable to avoid a head-on collision. Now, the driver of the PSV is among the 7 victims who lost their lives at the scene. Several passengers sustained serious injuries and were rushed to Moi Referral Hospital in Voi, Taita Taveta County, where they are currently receiving treatment. Eyewitnesses blamed the accident on reckless driving and motorists flouting traffic rules, noting that the Macharia stretch is a notorious black spot with a history of fatal crashes.
Especially wakati msimu wa Krismasi, angalifu barabarani. Hapo hivi area yetu hapo ukiangalia kutoka pale juu mpaka pale chini, hapo inakuanga mbaya sana hapo mahali. So kenye ningependa kuambia madereva ni drive safe, unapeleka watu wa wenyewe. Sasa watu wanaenda sikukuu, wengine wametoka makazi zao wanaenda live kupatana na watu wao, na itakuwa mbaya sana kama watu watafika makwetu kwa sababu ya ajali.
Ni careless wa madereva, dereva matatu na pia na huyu wa roli. So ile kitu mimi naweza kuomba Wakenya wenzangu, madereva wenzangu, hawa ni gari ndogo, roli, matatu, mkuwe makini kwenye barabara na muendeshe gari mkiwa, na kama unaona overtaking haiwezekani, usijaribu ku overtake hata kidogo.
All right, quite unfortunate story right there, and we hope that our drivers be cautious at the roads even as we head to the festive seasons. All right, now let's talk matters politics, and DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has launched a scathing attack at Kenya Kwanza administration, accusing it of irresponsibly disposing key government assets and plunging the country into deeper financial losses. Now, speaking during a church service at Dominion City Church in Kasarani constituency, that is in Nairobi County, the former deputy president criticized the sale of government-owned Safaricom shares, claiming the process was driven by corruption and has cost the country billions of shillings. Now, Gachagua faulted President William Ruto's administration for allegedly divesting the shares without public participation, urging the move violated the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. Now, he said the lack of transparency in the transaction deprived Kenyans of accountability in matters involving public resources. Now, the former DP further accused the government of selling off strategic national assets, citing the cancellation of Rironi Summit Highway project, which he claimed was designed to facilitate corrupt dealings. He noted that Kenyans continue to shoulder the burden of debts arising from what he termed as questionable government decisions.
The country is being sold every day. Safaricom has been one of the greatest revenue generators for our country, about 18 to 20 billion shillings every year. Sasa share moja imeuzwa 34 shillings, whereas the real value is 70 to 80 shillings. So the country is losing about 250 billion. Sasa hii Safaricom inauzwa without public participation. And when we look at it in a very simple way, it's like you have a cow that is high yielder in your home. Hiyo ng'ombe ndio inatoa maziwa, watoto wanakunywa, wewe unakunywa, ingine unauza. Sasa wewe unauza hiyo ng'ombe na una ingine, ati ununue chakula ya siku hiyo. Sasa ukikula hiyo chakula, huna ng'ombe ya kukamua. So we are in a space in our country where Ruto is selling everything that is working. Mambo ya Kenya pipeline ameuza. Kenya port ameuza. Airport ameuza. Sasa Safaricom imeuzwa. When you look at ile wizi iko kwa mambo ya barabara. The road from Rironi to Mau Summit was supposed to be built by the French at 150 billion. Ruto ameenda amecancel hiyo, amepatia Chinese at 200 billion. So wameiba bilioni 50. Na Wakenya watalipa hiyo deni for 35 years. So that is why ourselves, with Daktari here and other leaders, we are saying we must liberate this country. Sindio? Otherwise, the way things are going, all national institutions are being sold. Everything has gone haywire. Theft, left, right, and center. And that is why I want to assure the people of Kenya that we in the united opposition are clear in our mind that we shall stay as one. At the right time, we'll give you one candidate to face William Ruto.
Right, at the same time, DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has sought to calm speculations of divisions within the opposition, assuring the public that opposition parties remain united despite alleged efforts by the government to woo Wiper party leader, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, into its camp. Now, speaking during a church service at Dominion City Church in Kasarani constituency, Nairobi County, Gachagua dismissed claims of a rift between himself and Kalonzo, stating that the Democracy for Citizens Party, that is DCP, and Wiper Party are working closely together towards a common political agenda. Now, the former deputy president further extended an invitation to the Orange Democratic Movement, that is the ODM, to join the opposition coalition, saying unity would be crucial as plans begin to challenge the Kenya Kwanza administration in the 2027 general elections. Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who accompanied Gachagua at the event, echoed the sentiments, affirming that the opposition remains intact. Kalonzo also renewed his criticism of the current government, urging leaders to exercise sobriety, responsibility, and prudence in the management of national affairs and public finances.
Tunasema tunataka the face of Kenya in Nairobi. Na hatutaki ODM iwachwe nje. And we are saying we are depending on the experience of Kalonzo Musyoka kupanga siasa ya Nairobi. Because he has a lot of experience. Si ndio? So wewe kiongozi, weka sisi yote pamoja. DCP tuko na wewe tayari. Hii watu ya ODM umewaunga mkono mwaka 15, tafuta hao. Hatutaki pia wawachwe nje. Because they are part of Kenya, si ndio? Lakini wakiamua kufuata Kasongo, wapotee ni shauri yao. we cannot help them. Si ndio?
Last night, ndugu kiongozi, I met lawyers from Mount Kenya South, and we agreed are going to file a serious petition to stop the auctioning and the sale of Safaricom Kenya, because this is the one parastatal, and we know that as they try to sell this parastatal without public participation, which is a constitutional requirement, it is simply because somebody somewhere wants a cut, and a cut, as Rigiji has explained, one share at 34 shillings originally, now at 72, and you are selling it at 34. You can imagine if you sell it at 50, mnakubaliana, how big is your share? So we are saying we have to stop the stealing, the vandalization of the Kenyan economy and our parastatals. That's why we went to court. We stopped the Andani deals. Imagine Muindi anashtakiwa Marekani akionekana anaweka korokoroni, na huku tunampatia the whole of our international airport a strategic national asset. We want to say those national assets like Kenya Pipeline Corporation, strategic security related asset, kanisa na nyinyi pia, you demand to be part of public participation. Because Mungu alitupatia hiyo mali. Angalia dhahabu in Kakamega. Watu wanakuja bila public participation. You want to displace whole communities from Ikolomani and wherever the gold is. And on the other hand, ambao wako kwa mamlaka sahihi wanafanya ile inaitwa blood gold. Inatolewa South Sudan, North Sudan, Darfur region, inaletwa usiku, uwanja wa ndege inakuwa cleaned, repackaged, inaambiwa this is Kenyan gold when it is Sudanese gold. Inatuletea shida. So we have to tell our people the truth all the time. So we are not going to allow that situation.
Right, still on matters politics, Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya has downplayed the planned visit by DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua to the coastal region aimed at popularizing his political party. Now speaking at a fundraising event for 50 women's group in Lungalunga, Mvurya argued that the recent defeat of the party in the Magarini constituency by-election reflects a lack of popular support in the region. Now he further accused Gachagua of promoting divisive politics, asserting that such tendencies are being addressed and corrected by the broad-based government.
Na nilisikia juzi Bwana Gachagua amesema safari hii ya Disemba anataka kuandaa mikutano kujumuisha chama yake ijulikane huku. Mimi nawataka kuwashauri tusipotoshwe na watu wa siasa ya kibinafsi. Ile ya muhimu, rais wetu Daktari William Samoei Ruto amehakikisha sote tumeungana. Hata wale walikuwa ODM, wale walikuwa UDA na vyama vingine, sasa wote pamoja na KANU tuko ndani ya serikali. Hatutaki watu ambao wataturudisha nyuma. Hatutaki watu ambao mfano hawana, ni upinzani wa kila siku, hawana jambo la kutekeleza. Na hata nasikia hapa Kwale kuna wengine pia wako kwa programu hiyo.
Wangapi wanasema Ruto ni two-term? Ruto ni two-term. Na ukimwona mtu yapinga, jua ni mchawi wetu huyo. Kwa sababu kesho mkiniekea mtu mwingine nitafuata vipi mimi? Mlango ambao nimeujua kuingia ni wa Ruto. Ofisi ambayo tunaweza kukanyaga na kumuulizia watu wetu ni ofisi ya Daktari William Samoei Ruto.
Ule mwito wa gavana ambao anasema ya kwamba makundi haya ya wamama na wazee yaweze kutoka ile ngazi walikuwa wapande juu. Na nimesikia hapa mko na ushuhuda ya kwamba mna hiyo nia ya kwamba muwe na kampuni, na hayo ndiyo malengo. Ndugu zangu wananchi wa Lungalunga, kwanza nataka niwaambie ya kwamba hakuna mahali ambapo unatafuta pesa kwa urahisi. Hakuna njia nyingine, njia ni hii.
Now, DAP-K party leader Eugene Wamalwa has criticized the UDA party for removing Kakamega County Senator Boni Khalwale from his position as majority whip in the Senate. Now, speaking in Butula, Busia County during the installation of the king of the Mareba clan, Wamalwa defended Dr. Khalwale's decision to support DAP-K candidate Seth Panyako in the recently concluded Malava by-election. Now, he urged residents in the Western region to embrace unity and work together despite political differences. Wamalwa also called on both the national and county governments to respect and actively support cultural ceremonies, highlighting their importance in promoting community cohesion.
Tuna nafasi nzuri kuja pamoja. Tumeona hii katika uchaguzi mdogo wa Malava, tumekuja pamoja hata watu kutoka vyama vingine. Yule Senator Boni Khalwale amepigwa teke sababu alikuwa anapigania heshima ya Mluya kule upande wa Malava. Nataka niambie Boni Khalwale the bullfighter, kama wanakutema wana UDA karibu DAP, sisi tuko na chama yetu, tuko na nyumbani, mwite ngoko. Na tunafungua milango kwa wote.
Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has reiterated that the Orange Democratic Movement, that is the ODM, is already part of the broad-based government and should concentrate on strengthening the current administration. Now, speaking at St. Leonida Nyawita Catholic Church in Kisumu during a fundraising drive, Wandayi dismissed remarks made the previous day at the burial of Raila Odinga's sister by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and DAP-K leader Eugene Wamalwa, describing them as false and motivated by personal grievances. Now, Wandayi urged political leaders to exercise honesty and sincerity when seeking support from the Luo community, emphasizing that the community is fully aware of its true friends. Now, he further stressed that political partnerships should be built on mutual respect and genuine intentions rather than convenience, calling on all leaders to prioritize integrity and accountability in their engagements.
And I want to say this, because yesterday, whilst at Bondo, during the funeral of Beryl Odinga, a number of our political friends who have worked with us in the past came to condole with us, notably former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka and former Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa. And they made a number of comments, some of which are factually incorrect. And because I didn't get a chance to correct them whilst at Bondo, allow me to correct them just here very briefly. One, the Honorable Wamalwa said that whilst we were at the National Dialogue Committee, the famous NADCO, and NADCO, I was a member of the NADCO personally. I was the deputy of Kalonzo from Azimio side. And Kimani Chungwa was the leader of Kenya Kwanza then. In NADCO, we were 10 members. And Wamalwa was one of us from Azimio. Eugene Wamalwa cannot have the moral authority to dictate how the NADCO report should be implemented. Because on the last day, when we were signing off the NADCO report, Wamalwa took off and ran away. He declined to sign the report, claiming that he was traveling to the DRC Congo. Yet he went and hid somewhere in Kilimani. So he has got no moral authority to dictate to us how the NADCO report should be implemented. And for Kalonzo Musyoka, he did claim that a number of Luo people have been killed before and that he needs answers. I don't know from who. Because some of our sons who have been killed in the past were killed when Kalonzo Musyoka was in government. And he never questioned those killings then. And now, yet now, when the government led by President William Ruto, in which we are serving, courtesy of Raila Odinga, has gone a step further and established a committee to undertake compensation of all victims of violence from 2017 up to now.
Right, now a section of clergy from Kisii County has called on political leaders to embrace unity and work across party lines as the country approaches the 2027 general elections. Now speaking in Ogembo Bomachoge Church constituency during a special prayer event, now the religious leaders urged an end to empty rhetoric that fuels division among communities. Now they emphasized the importance of constructive dialogue and collaboration among politicians to foster national cohesion. Now the clergy also called for meaningful engagement of the youth in government development agendas, highlighting the critical role young people play in shaping the country's and nation's future.
Ninaomba serikali yetu iweze kufika mwananchi karibu, tufanye maendeleo sisi wote kama Mkenya, tuweze kuungana mkono, tuache mambo ya marumbano, tuache mambo ya vita, tuweze kujenga nchi yetu tukufu ya Kenya. Serikali yetu iweze kuangazia masuala ya vijana, wanapofanya programs zao waweze kuleta vijana, waweke karibu, wasipague vijana, maana ndio wengi katika jamii, ili tukiungana pamoja Kenya yetu itakuwa bora kabisa na kila mtu atajihisi yuko sawa.
Naiomba serikali yetu waunganishe watu wetu wote waje pamoja ili tuweze kufanya maendeleo, maana pasipo amani maendeleo hatasonga.
Rais wetu tumuombe mema atufanyie maendeleo.
Now, the Kenya National Highways Authority, that is KENHA, has identified several accident-prone black spots along major highways and allocated funds for their redesign in a bid to reduce road crashes across the country. Now, speaking in Thika, KENHA board chairperson Winnie Ngumi said Nithi Bridge on the Nairobi-Embu Highway has been singled out as one of the major black spots requiring urgent intervention. She noted that the planned redesign aims to improve safety and bring to an end the recurring accidents in the area. Ngumi also revealed that the authority will conduct further public participation forums regarding the recently launched Rironi Mount Summit Highway to sensitize road users on the proposed toll charges. Now, she emphasized that engaging the public is key to ensuring transparency and acceptance of the tolling station or the tolling system. Now, meanwhile, National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, that is NACADA Vice Chairperson Njeri Madhu, cautioned motorists against drinking driving, while warning that alcohol consumption remains a leading contributor to road accidents.
We as KENHA have identified all the black spots. We have identified all the black spots within the country. At the board level, we have allocated budget, including budget for Nithi Bridge, which we have redesigned, courtesy of a presidential directive that we have to ensure that Nithi Bridge is designed to take care of road safety issues.
Wewe kama mtu anatengeneza dawa za kulevya, because most of them, we have backstreet laboratories. Can you speak out? Because if you don't speak out, how will the authorities know? So we wananchi, we are the people who are hiding these dealers. We are the people who are hiding these manufacturers. If a person comes and starts manufacturing second generation alcoholic drinks within the estate, within the village, because now they've moved to the villages, can you speak out and say there's something going on here and we do not know?
Now, the Kakamega County government has ordered the immediate shutdown of the Shiveya gold mine following a deadly collapse that claimed the lives of 3 miners. Now, Deputy Governor, that is Ayub Savula, who visited the site, said the closure is necessary to allow for a comprehensive geological safety review. He explained that the county will deploy geologists to examine the soil structure, topography, and other scientific indicators before determining whether mining operations can safely resume.
Zamu kirudi hapa tena nyinyi wale. Hao mtarudi hapa sasa. Hata kuna so ifunge, mimi nita coordinate na expert geologists of mining ministry wakuja hapa waangalie na environmental experts. Sawa sawa. Kwa sababu mchanga yote ikifunikia watu wengi hapa tutapoteza watu kama hii. Tuseme yani tulie kidogo mpaka tuangalie vile watapima topography ya soil hapa. Sawa. Mchanga itakuwa. Sawa. Wale wameaga tutajaribu kuwasaidia tuone vile watazikwa, lakini for now hapana. Na hivi tu Shanta Gold hatutaki Kolomani.
All right, moving on to across our borders in South Africa, at least 11 people, including a 3-year-old child, have been killed in a mass shooting at a hostel in Solville Township, west of South Africa's capital, Pretoria. 14 others were injured after armed attackers stormed the premises in the early hours of Saturday. Now, police say the victims were gathered at an illegal and unlicensed liquor outlet operating within the hostel when the shooting occurred. According to authorities, at least 3 unknown gunmen opened fire randomly on the group, triggering panic and chaos. Emergency services responded to the scene and rushed the wounded to nearby hospitals, while the deceased were pronounced dead on the site. Police have launched a manhunt for the suspect, but no arrests have been made so far. The motive behind the attack remains unknown.
What happened here, there is a room for the hostel where people that were congregated drinking. There were approximately 3 individuals, those who approached the room. They started shooting randomly. Out of that, 10 people succumbed to the shooting.
Right, now a group of butchers in Embu town has initiated a campaign to eliminate unsafe, uninspected and illegally traded meat from the local market. Now the move comes amid rising public concern following the several recent seizures of donkey meat being transported to unknown destinations within the county. Now the Butchers Association is emphasizing the importance of ensuring the meat sold to consumers meets safety and hygiene standards. Now the association is also urging residents to remain vigilant, especially as demand for meat surges during the festive season. Take a look.
Tumekuwa na challenge nyingi ya mambo ya nyama. Unakuta kwa social media tunapata matangazo ya nyama ile inauzwa Embu si mzuri, na sisi wenyewe tunajua tunauzaga nyama mzuri. Ndipo tulipata hiyo idea ya kutengeneza group ili tuweze kujuana zaidi wale watu tunafanya hii biashara ya nyama. Na katika wale watu wako kwa hii group tuko na kibandiko tumetengeneza, iko na hii inaitwa QR code. Ukichachi hii QR code utapata kila mbuchari yenye aina hii. Wewe mwenyewe ukinunua nyama ujiulize hii nyama ni nyama aina gani, sababu si nini wala nini tunasema watu wakule nyama mzuri, especially wakati kama huu wa Christmas. Bado biashara ya nyama itapamba sana, na tungetaka watu waangalie sana wakinunua nyama, sababu tunasikia mara tunapata social media kuna ugonjwa imeshuka mahali fulani ya nyama, kuna ugonjwa imeshuka mahali fulani ya nyama, na hiyo huenda ikawa ni kitu inaweza pia kutuharibia biashara. Kwa hivyo sisi tumetengeneza group ya kuonyesha customer wetu wale wananunua kwetu tunauza nyama halali ile sawa.
Kwa ile butcher utakuwa unaenda utakuwa unapata hiyo sticker. Hiyo sticker inakusaidia wewe kama mnunuzi wa nyama kuweza kujua hiyo huyo member ni mtu ambaye ameauthoriziwa na hiki kikundi kuuza nyama, sababu ni mtu tumemwangalia tukaona hauzi nyama mbaya, anajua nyama amepita ama ametumia ile njia inafaa ili nyama iweze kuingia kwa butchery. For example, kuna mambo ambayo inafaa kuwa inafuatiliwa kutoka kwa slaughter mpaka nyama kuingia kwa butchery. Hiyo nyama kutoka slaughter mpaka kwa butchery kuna zile njia inafaa kubebwa nayo. So ukiona member ambaye ako na sticker kama hiyo, huyo mtu amekubalika na amemiti zile matakwa anatakikana kama kikundi ama muuzaji wa nyama kuweza kuwa anauza nyama katika butchery. So wewe kama mnunuzi wa nyama ukinunua nyama, be very cautious, sababu nyama ni mingi ambazo zina trade huku. Hakuna mtu ambaye hajaziona, amejua. Unapata tumechinjiwa punda, tumechinjiwa mbwa. So hizi nyama ni mingi huku sokoni. So sisi tunawahakikishia nyama yetu ambayo tunauza ni nyama ambayo ni quality na imeapproviwa na imepimwa na daktari na imeauthoriziwa kuwa hapa.
All right, of course, continue being vigilant to the meat you buy in the butcheries. even as we head to the festive season. All right, now it is exactly 30 minutes past the top of the hour. That particular story wraps up our program here on EBN Weekend Edition. Many thanks, of course, keeping me company until this particular minute. My name is Martin Macharia. You've been watching EBN Weekend Edition. Do have yourself a good night, and as always, let's do this again when God says we do.